Hi guys, welcome to episode 2 of Julee's Art Farts. I'm considering putting in sound effects of farting, but that's just...
we could just do it. Jenna, can you do any farts with your hands?
No.
No, because
No.
Julee, this is a classy show. No, don't do that ever again.
I wonder how that
I
sounded.
apologize to all of our listeners because this is
You suggested it.
Well, but I thought about it. I was speaking. I said I was thinking about it, and then I thought, no, that's ridiculous. This is a classy art show hosted by me, Tony, and...
Jenna?
Yeah, Jenna.
Wait, okay.
Wait, Julee, you're
Jenna?
a host too.
We're all co-hosts, right?
Right.
It's all together.
Yeah.
I was just waiting for Julee to say her name.
I'll let her believe that she's a co-host and that it's all together. But this is the show where the three of us get together and, Jenna and I learn about the world of art from a really smart art sister, Julee.
Hello, Julee.
Hello.
How are your art farts?
They're good. Did you hear them in the beginning of the podcast?
She's been eating a lot of raisins. So this is our second episode. How did you guys get tons of great feedback from the last one from all of the many listeners?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What were some of the things you guys heard?
I learned so much. Learned more than I ever had in school. In all my years of school. In all my classes. Math. Science.
Wow. That sounds so good.
It was really good
and genuine.
Feedback. Really good feedback.
How about you, Jenna? Did you hear anything on the playgrounds?
On the playgrounds. Julie's friend reposted on Instagram.
That's my friend. Talk about your friends.
Well, we don't have friends. We just have each other.
Exactly.
Okay, sorry,
My friends.
Jenna, you shouldn't name individual digital social media mentions because if you can name them individually, it doesn't sound like there's that many. But I'm sure there's many.
There's many.
This episode is probably trending worldwide, even when people can't hear it yet because we're just recording it now.
Yeah.
But everyone needs to spread the word. Julie's Art Farts it's in iTunes now. It's in the Apple Podcast section.
Yay.
Yay.
They approved it.
Subscribe. Rate, review.
Yeah.
Good things.
Yeah.
Only good things.
So from here on out, we're just going to get more and more listeners, I think.
Yeah, just a heads up, only 5 stars are allowed in the reviews, so thanks.
Well, yeah, because you got to be honest. So that's the only reviews that are going to come through. Only 5-star reviews. And so if this is your first time listening, just go back and listen to the other one because it's right there. And jump on early. This is the show where we learn about the world of art from Julee, a very qualified artiste, an art student, an art professional. That's all correct, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And last week, Jenna... me. I picked the art piece we're going to do this week. And it is Michelangelo's David, right?
Yep.
Jenna, did you know this art when I picked it?
No.
Okay, now Julee sent us a couple images to take a look at it. Have you seen the images?
No.
So you have no idea what we're going to talk about today?
No.
I love it. It's exciting.
Great.
Well, first of all, it's a naked man.
Okay.
But we're going to be classy about this.
Okay.
Okay, do you open up the image, Jenna?
You know what?
No.
That reminds me real quickly, though. In art, there's the term naked and there's the term nude. And you use
Does
them
that mean the same
differently.
thing?
Yes, technically, but you use them differently.
Explain.
A nude is respectful. What's the
Respected?
word? Not respected.
Respectful?
It's more respectful.
And
a naked
more proper.
person is not. More of a it's not okay,
Oh, like a naked person would be like, hey, where are your clothes?
Yeah, that's not okay.
Who took your clothes? That's not
You
okay.
are probably like a lady of the night kind of thing. That's why you're naked.
Or a man of the night.
Yeah. A nude is more like, oh, that's classy.
But sometimes at night it's really hot. So it's okay to be naked if it's really hot. So nude is the artistic word. So that's the one we should be using, Jenna, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
For this piece.
For this piece. It's a nude piece. Did you open it up, Jenna?
Yes.
Have you ever seen this piece before?
No.
No?
No, but I'm looking through the images, and some of them are like
Don't look at all of them.
scary.
Look at the black and
main
white.
statue
Yeah, the black and white.
Okay.
The
The
big.
little people.
There's
Little people in front of it.
Okay.
It looks
yeah.
like Steve Jobs and Wozniak or something. Looks like a Apple ad from the 80s. So Jenna's never seen this, but I thought this was. Would you put this top? I like to put numbers and lists for everything. So is this a top 20 all-time iconic art pieces?
Oh, I don't know.
Because the Mona Lisa was a top 5 for sure. Top 3 maybe.
Well, Michelangelo is better known for the Sistine Chapel. So I'm trying to think if we're going to go through the top 20 all famous.
That's what this show should be about. An ultimate ranking of art. Okay. Jenna, what's your first impression when you see this?
I've never seen a sculpture, like a big, like tall sculpture. Wait, how big is this?
Yeah, I had no idea this thing was that big.
Yeah, it's huge. It's 17 feet tall.
Where's our? Do you have your measuring tape?
No.
Measuring tape doesn't. Oh, first rule of Julie's art farts: always have your measuring tape.
Well,
I should have brought that today.
The measuring tape wouldn't work, so I actually bring a picture of a lady working on a copy, so you could kind of compare. Jenna.
Oh, it's that other image we have here, Jenna, the green one.
The green one.
Where she's working on it. This is a copy somewhere else, and look how little she is. A full-grown woman is not even like the length of his arm, or about the length of his arm. So this is this is a big piece.
Big. It was nicknamed the Giant during his time.
Ah.
Now, multiple artists have tried carving this piece of marble. This is made out of marble, and kind of gave up. They couldn't do it. It was left alone for a few years until Michelangelo came. We got it.
Okay. So everybody, in his time, people were trying to do this piece. What do you mean? Why were they trying to do?
Not this, this subject, not this guy particularly, but carving this giant.
A big
piece
marble
of marble.
sculpture.
Yeah, out of a big block of marble.
Okay, so let's start with the physics part of it first. This is marble, which is like a really hard mineral rock, right?
Yes.
What other things were people using for sculpture at the time?
Wood. People carved wood. Bronze casting was really popular as well. That's a whole crazy method. I mean, this is already a method that I'll explain to you guys. That's pretty complicated. But so I would say mostly wood and bronze.
Okay, so what year was this thing?
So this is from 1501 to 1504. It took him that long to carve it. So those are the years.
Oh, remember with the last one, it was almost the same years, but it was kind of like unknown exactly when, because it didn't take him like a couple years to do that painting. But this took 3 years.
So this was during the same time as the Mona Lisa. Mona Lisa was like 1503.
So, Jenna, do you remember the era that we learned about last time?
Yes.
What's it
A
called?
little bit. The I don't know.
The Renaissance, the High Renaissance.
I was close. I said Rena,
the late
and then I didn't
Renaissance.
finish. The late Renaissance.
Okay, so that would be in this same school.
And same in Italy, and these artists knew each other. They worked around the same time, It was competitive.
They were friends, but they were kind of competing a little?
Yeah. A main thing that actually Michelangelo and Da Vinci competed against was what was better, sculpture or painting. One said one and one said the other.
So this could be like the Rihanna and Katy Perry of their time?
Do they compete?
I think they compete to top the charts and
Then yes.
my heart. So, and they do a great job. So they're probably doing the same. So they're trying to, who can push the boundaries.
Or what was better? Just what was a better medium?
That's weird. Why do you have to choose one?
Michelangelo was really like gung-ho on sculpture being just way superior. Like it's just way better.
Because it's 3D. It's like, Jenna, you got your VR goggles, right?
Yeah.
Is it more interesting? What's more interesting to you? If you could have one awesome piece in your bedroom, do you want a 3D sculpture or a flat painting on the wall? Your room's kind of small, though.
I would want a 3D sculpture because I already have flat paintings.
Okay. So this is happening at the same time. Now, the crazy thing to understand about this, Jenna, and Julie's going to help us understand it, is that this is one big piece of rock. It's not clay.
No. Is it just like, did it start off like a huge like rectangle and they sculpt it from there?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's
took
that's crazy because when you think about like anytime I've ever tried sculpture or something in class, it was with clay, you know?
So you add it onto something.
Yeah.
And you build it where this is something you're subtracting. You're revealing it.
Math.
Math. I like it.
Just math.
So it's giant block, and what's he using?
Okay, so I also brought some pictures here for this, so Jenna, you can see. But he used like a chisel and a hammer, and he would take one of these big chisel. They kind of look like big forks, and then take a hammer and hit it on the end, and just chip the block away.
Oh, can you imagine like hitting a rock with a hammer for 4 years? Like, but how does it work? Like, how does he get the smooth surfaces?
Well, you use like they're kind of fork points, the chisel, and they're thicker. So you switch to smaller, more I don't know. Like
finer tools?
Finer, yeah. So you just get smaller and smaller, and then you buff the heck out of it, like sanding it.
Oh, I had sanding in my head, yes.
There you go. You know it. So, what's crazy is like why I picked this, and I don't know a lot, but I love looking at this type of sculpture, marble sculpture, because, Mona Lisa is incredible, right?
Yes.
The guy was a genius, and he painted something that nobody else could paint. But I could kind of understand that. That's paint. Skill in paint. This, I don't understand how something so hard can look so soft or real. Like you could see the muscles and the skin and the shadows. But all he did was not all he did, but like he subtracted from the rock with steel.
And then if there's actually 2 photos that show that, maybe this one first.
Okay, we
Jenna,
have a photo
of... picture of like 4 figures in rocks?
Like a black rectangle.
Oh, yes.
So those are his pieces that were never finished, but that gives you an idea of how it came to be.
Oh, okay.
So he just slowly removed the rock. It's amazing. This is the most amazing kind of art to me because I still can't like grasp it. How do you go into something? You have to picture what you want before you start. One wrong move, there goes his arm. You can't just attach that.
So right. So think about that, Jenna. Like if he's working and he's trying to dig in and create a shape, if he goes like half an inch too deep, he can't erase that. He can't go back. No. Where the painter could almost always add and cover and subtract.
And these, and if you remember, the artists of the Renaissance were really into anatomy and perfecting the human body.
Math.
So you don't want to go an inch too deep because that messes up scale that messes that
these
up.
people would be perfectionists. They would want like the most perfect representations of the body. It just doesn't. I mean, is he considered? So you said people were trying to do a big marble statue, and was he the one who figured it out? Was he the one who cracked it without cracking it though? Like, don't crack.
I mean, there were other, a lot of other sculptors
Geniuses, yeah.
and stuff, but it was huge. It's a lot bigger than his other sculptures. So it's amazing.
How long did it take him to perfect this type of art?
He was 26 or 29 when he did this.
What?
What?
Yeah.
I was honestly going to think you were going to say like 50 something.
No, very young. He had like one big sculpture before this.
You're 26 to 29.
Almost, but yeah.
I made a podcast.
He was a master. They say that a lot of these artists went to, what's it called?
Heaven.
They went to take apprenticeships when they were young. And
so that would be when they're really young, they go learn with a master. They go live with them and study with them all day and follow them.
And he was just like a workman. He wasn't a sculptor, the guy who he studied
It's just
with.
really similar to Star Wars.
Yes.
That's how it works. You have to go train.
So, he was a young boy, and he's always done this his whole life, so.
Okay. Is he, I mean, maybe this is a safe or stupid question, but is he a genius at this? Like, amazing other level?
Yeah. So something that, if you do look at a different sculpture by an artist who's not as good, just seeing things like his muscles, that's not something you see in older sculptures or other artists. The veins in his hand, the detail in that, there's like emotion that he's able to get in this piece of rock. You can't see that in other.
So he was one of the top ones at this, for sure. Okay. How about?
I wish I could do this.
How about let's get off the technique. What about the actual piece, like the subject? Who's this guy?
So this is a story from the Bible. A lot of work during this time was Catholic Bible stories.
Oh, Jenna, maybe you know a little bit about this one.
So this is the story of David and Goliath. Do you know that, Jenna?
Oh,
no, never heard of it.
Do you know it, Tony?
Yeah, it's like there's a big giant,
Goliath,
and he's blocking something, maybe a bridge.
I think he's just being like a menace.
Oh, he's just
I'm not
bothering
super
everybody,
sure,
pushing people around, and then this little guy,
he's like a teenager.
David. He doesn't look that. He looks pretty muscular here, though. I thought he was always like a little wimpy kid. He kills him, right? He like makes a slingshot and then he like hits the giant. So the story is how the littlest person with the biggest heart and the strongest will and determination could end the biggest obstacle.
Yeah,
and it's in the Bible.
So a few interesting things you said in that. You said that you always, he should be kind of a young boy.
Yeah, I thought he was
boy.
more,
So in other versions, other sculptures, he's younger, he's skinny, scrawny, he's a little boy. Donatello's David is a famous version of that sculpture. So this one, though, Michelangelo is very inspired by classic Greek sculpture. So the pose and the hair curls, everything is reminiscent of that.
Because when I do see this, I do think of Greek feeling for some reason.
Yeah, he took it from there. And you mentioned the slingshot and the rock, and he's holding both of those. He's holding a slingshot over his hand, over his shoulder. Oh. That's the sling, and the rock is in his palm. Oh. So that means this is before the killing of Goliath. Right before. And most other artworks show the after. The beheaded, you see Goliath's head in the piece. Ah. So this was a different take on it.
Why wouldn't he put some clothes on if he's going to go fight a big giant?
It was inspired by Greek sculpture. He wanted to show the body. He wanted to show his skill. That look what I can do. Look how amazing.
This Michelangelo guy sounds like a show-off. Like, I'm going to do it before, and I'm going to say it's better than painting, because I don't like that guy.
But later on, they thought it was inappropriate, and they actually covered his naughty bits with a little leaf.
Where? Who covered it?
Just like
this sculpture?
This sculpture, because it was meant to be outside. It was outside, where when it finally when it was done.
Okay, so what was the purpose of him making it?
Okay, so it was meant to be in I think it was like a church. That's originally what it was commissioned, but after it was done, everyone was like amazed by it. So then it ended up being outside of the town in Florence, the like city hall of Florence. What's it called? It's called Palazzo Vecchio. So he was
I
standing.
could say that.
Say it. You got it?
No.
Palazzo Vecchio.
I'm not gonna try.
But everyone was really amazed, and it became a really important figure in Florence. It meant like liberty and all that.
It became their
like
icon,
symbol,
their Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, this little guy took down this giant, and we're gonna protect our city the way he did. So a reason why
nude.
Yeah.
Everyone take their clothes off.
But a reason why I think this piece is so famous, because I don't think it is his best sculpture. But I think it came at the right moment for him, and it came at the right moment for the city. So he became really big, and it just became a really big icon.
Okay, so that's why it becomes a big deal. Where is it currently?
It is in a museum with the other sculptures that I showed you of the unfinished sculptures and a few other sculptures from different artists. It's what's it called? The Galleria dell'Accademia in Italy.
In Italy, because we learned last week, what's made in Italy stays in Italy, right? Or was it the opposite?
No, yeah.
Yeah, and the French are always taking people's stuff.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what we learned. Interesting. Jenna, do you have any questions about this one?
I don't think so.
Julie, is this one you would like to go see?
I've seen it.
Oh.
Tell
us about seeing it.
It's amazing. You don't, even in this picture, I don't think you could get the sense of how big it is.
Right.
When you're standing, looking up, above, it's...
How's the actual experience of going to see it? Is it alone in its room?
It's alone in a room. This picture shows.
In a big dome room.
So you can walk around it. Obviously, it's very packed, and people are always yelling at you not to take photos. But I think they just removed that. I think you can take photos in there now. But when I went, you were not allowed to take photos.
Is it because so many people would be taking too much time, or? I
think they get mad that people are selling images or something. I really don't know why you can't take photos. Everyone's camera phone is not going to be as good as photographers.
Yeah, the posters you could buy in the gift shop.
So I don't know. They're very on that. They don't let you take photos for anything.
Can you walk around it?
Yeah, you can walk around it. You know what? It's not as packed, actually. Like, you can walk around it comfortably. Well, when I went, so it was good.
Is it in danger of ever falling apart?
I was reading somewhere that they were a little like, because it has also been worn in the weather, because it was outside at the time.
Oh,
it was like people threw things at it. And
hey, Michelangelo, I don't like your big and naked man. Oh, he's a nude. Whatever. And they throw a tomato.
I mean, it seems okay. It's been standing for a while, but I'm not sure.
Like they must be studying it, right? Like X-ray laser scanning for tiny cracks in the ankle. If I go running, sometimes my ankles hurt.
Yeah.
So imagine him. He's been standing around for 500 years. How much does he weigh? Do you know?
Oh, I think it's something like, I'm gonna say 4,000 pounds, but I'm probably making that up.
I'm gonna agree with you.
Thank you.
Sounds good. That's 2 tons. Did you have to pay extra to see it? Or
you do. I mean, you had to pay for the museum, but my teacher set all that up, so it's just part of the trip fee.
Okay,
Like,
so
here's some money, take care
so
of
for
it.
those out there listening, just ask your
sorry.
teacher what the trip fee is and pay that.
It's a museum. You have to pay. You do have to pay. I think it's cheaper if you have a student ID. So it's
But this isn't a separate thing.
I have
it's
a
part of it.
student's ID.
then it's cheaper for you.
Nice.
Yay.
Nice. Okay, anything else to share about this one, Julie?
No.
That sounds awesome.
It's cool.
So we started with Renaissance. We had 2 episodes of Renaissance already.
Yeah, kind of too close together, I think.
Yeah, well,
It's just a podcast on Renaissance.
yeah. So far this is just a Renaissance podcast. But, I came up with this at the last minute. The next art piece, Jenna, do you have something in mind? Hopefully something not Renaissance for next episode?
I'm not 100% sure.
What's the piece that you were thinking of?
I was thinking of like the Starry Night, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Ah, The Starry Night by...
Van Gogh.
That's
were you asking Jenna? Sorry.
No, I don't know who it was.
Oh.
So I was hoping you would
Neither
say
do
it.
I.
Van Gogh, one of the most popular artists. You guys know who he is.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, hopefully we'll learn a little bit on the next episode of Julie's Art Farts. Jenna, tell them where they could find it.
You can find it at saywhatradio.com, iTunes, and any other podcast apps.
That's cool. And until then, thanks, Julie, for dropping all that art knowledge.
Thank you.
And we'll see you on the next episode of Julie's Art Farts.
Sure. Can I do it?
Gosh,
Classy.
that's why she's not a co-host.